Well, the first instrument that I was fascinated with was keyboards, because I was really into hip hop and rap. And I thought to myself that if I got a keyboard, I could program all these drum beats and stuff, and that would be the key to my musical wisdom. But keyboards were very expensive, so I never got a keyboard. We went as far as going to Ampang Park and checking out the price of keyboards, and they were just too expensive. So I never got a keyboard. However, when I got into, so it went like this. It went from like rap, hip hop, R&B, then it went to rock, and suddenly someone introduced me to Nirvana, and that was the turning point. And I decided, I should really pick up guitar. And guitar was way more affordable. My grandma gave me 80 ringgit, and I bought my first guitar at Spectrum Shopping Mall in Ampang, and that was the beginning. Nowadays, I still mostly play guitar. I do play some keyboards just for composing, and I also play ukulele now as well. I have 4 degrees in music. So I did my first undergrad in Malaysia, but the degree was awarded by University of Westminster, UK, and that was a bachelor's in professional music arranging. And I received a scholarship to study at Berklee College of Music in Boston, and I did another 2 degrees. I did a dual major in jazz composition and guitar performance. Then I taught there for the summer programs. I graduated, then I was on faculty, then I moved to California, and I did my master's at San Jose State University, studying jazz studies. Totally, music, the arts in general. I grew up in my house, right, it's just a house full of books and deskmites. And so I was always surrounded by books, and my dad had cassettes of Andres Segovia, and we would have just music in the house quite a lot. And so music was always a part of me growing up, but it was only when I was in Form 4 that I picked up guitar, and then it became pretty serious soon thereafter. Having pretty much hippie parents helps, they've been always very supportive of me pursuing a career in the arts. I always, when you're in sekolah rendah and sekolah menengah, right, they have this the report card, and then every year you have to fill up, your cita-cita. You have like 3 ambitions that you can put in. And it's always been penulis, pelukis, pemusic for me. So it's always been either a writer, an artist, or a musician. And for some long time, I wrote this musician thing in like 3rd place because I didn't play an instrument, but I thought, this is something I would want to do. And then in Form 5, I remember that it clearly went to first position. Is what I wanted to do. Just supportive parents, because when I picked up guitar, my dad bought me my first guitar magazine. He bought me an issue of Guitar World magazine with Metallica on the cover. And I had no idea what the lessons were. I was like reading this like pentatonic, what's that? And then flat 2. I didn't understand it, but he just encouraged me. He just bought these magazines and these books. So without supportive parents, I think, because I started really late, I started when I was like 16, I don't think I could be where I am now. Music is actually very difficult for me. It's one of the hardest things I do. I've never been a natural at music, but it was something that I've always been, as soon as I picked up guitar, it's almost like I knew that was what I wanted to do. Even though I remember playing for some of my friends through the phone, like, you have to listen to me, I'm playing this song by the Beatles. And through the phone, I put the phone there and I'd be playing like Yesterday or something really badly. And for some reason, they still listen. So I don't know. It's always been something very difficult for me, but it's something that I love so much that you do the work. You just do the hard work, and eventually you get good at it because you just never quit. Squirrels. No, actually zebras. No, actually. You know what really inspires me? The thing is, right, I was just in Austria. I was teaching this guitar workshop in Austria, and we were talking about the same topic, talking about inspiration. And sometimes you're lucky. You're like maybe in North Lake Tahoe, because I have a song called Letter from Tahoe, and you're like, wow, the place is so beautiful, and you're like so inspired, and music just comes oozing out. Sometimes lah. But most of the time, you're sitting with your instrument and you want to create something. And a lot of it's just hard work and craft. But you take inspiration from life. I write music based on the people I meet, places I've been, memorable experiences, good and bad. And you take those life experiences and you try to capture it. It's almost like, like graphic recordings. So some people write books, some people draw things, So I try to capture it in my music. And that's what you do. You take life, you put it together with your craft, and hopefully something beautiful comes out. If not, you write the next song, and the next song, and the next song. And that's part of doing something for a long time. You do get stuck. And you find, sometimes it might just be a book. Maybe I'll read a book, Like I recently read a book by this classical guitarist educator, Philip He, and it's something like, the title is something ridiculous, like how to become a virtuoso in 60 days. But it's like really a lot of very truthful things about how to practice guitar. And it's something like, you practice this one pattern for 5 hours a day for 7 days a week. And if you do it, it works. It's the truth, and it's not easy. So something like that might inspire me. Maybe I'll watch a video on YouTube, and that might inspire me. Maybe I'll watch anime. I've been watching Code Geass again for the second time, but now so that, watching anime maybe inspires me something. Sometimes just walking outside the house, maybe you'll see something interesting or something really boring, but it might inspire you. You hunt it out. Probably my dad. I don't really have, in general, I don't really have this idea of a role model per se, but just watching my dad, watching him write, as a writer, he doesn't consider himself a natural. So it's pure hard work. Every day you write something, you read something, and you do it every day. Even now, he'll like make it a point to write a Facebook update and make sure everything rhymes and has structure and form. Twitter updates that rhyme. So just watching him work at it every day, it's probably a huge influence to my work. It's the spirit of improvisation. And with jazz, that's like at the heart of jazz. That's kind of the soul of jazz, is improvisation. Which is why I ended up going to Berklee College of Music and majoring in jazz composition, which is why I did my master's in jazz studies. And I'm just fascinated with how people can just make all these beautiful melodies. And after studying it, and now, especially now, because I teach improvisation for like all instruments, different instruments, teach jazz, guitar. I study it every day, I practice it every day, and there's always something. And these things can be taught. Improvisation can be taught. There's an approach to it. And even after knowing how to do it, it's still kind of an adventure, which is why, like my albums, like since my 2010 album, Emo Attack Turtle, all the albums have been improvised. Even the new album, In the Deep Night, Electric Poetry, there's only one track that's composed. Everything else was just improvised. So that's a huge part of my music.